This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Well, Drink and Toast coming up. Also, the exciting return of Who Sucks Less? Our question, what is the craziest thing that's happened to someone you know? 844-999-OLA.
A couple of comments came in. We're talking about a guy who just got decapitated. How will we do the funeral service? Someone says, you guys are a-holes. LOL. Someone else says, put the head in a bowling bag, carry it on the plane. And then we were talking to the guy that was eating Cheetos, and we were discussing the infamous Cheeto fingers. So this person wants to know, would you rather have Cheeto fingers for the rest of your life or sweat mayonnaise?
Cheeto fingers. I don't want to sweat mayonnaise. That sounds awful.
It does sound awful. So the Cheeto
But imagine
fingers.
you have Cheeto dust on your fingers at all times.
All the time. So it doesn't matter who you're hitting on. Doesn't matter if you go to shake hands with someone. You go for a job interview and they want that firm handshake that everyone blah, blah, blah.
I think people are going to be a little bit better off to have a handful of cheese and a handful of mayonnaise.
I hear you, but here the only difference is this. I can move to a cool climate and do nothing interesting. You know what I mean? Try to avoid sweating as much as you possibly can.
And sometimes people are sweating, you don't even notice.
Yeah, but if you're sweating mayonnaise, people going to notice. People
I think
gonna
I'm
notice for
sweating
sure.
mayonnaise.
Really? But what about, all right, so now you're having sex, okay? Now, there's a good chance no woman's going to be interested in you if you're constantly covered in Cheeto dust, and that's understood. But you're not covered in Cheeto dust, so you have sealed the deal, Ted. But now, like when you have sex, you break out in that sweat, and she's looking up at you like,
oh, if they had
I think there's mayonnaise dripping off of your forehead.
If they had Cheeto dust-flavored lube or mayonnaise-flavored lube, I think most people would go with Cheeto dust.
Sure.
Yeah, but just imagine every little thing. Imagine, you get up in the middle of the night, right? And you're going to maybe eat some of the wife's chocolate. Those days are over.
You can't even grab the milk
You got Cheetos
jug.
dust on your fingers. Like, we're going to know every move you have made.
What is this chocolate thumbprint around the milk container?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just feel like the Cheetos dust on the fingers would give you away.
You could never commit a crime.
Never.
What's the craziest thing that's happened to someone you know? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Miles. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola!
Hola!
Stupid name.
Hey, guys. Yeah, so I guess the weird thing, really gross and weird, is I was in the Army at the time and working with field artillery guys doing ammunition, and they were doing a salute for a change of command. Now, they have these 105-millimeter artillery cannons that they fire off, and they have these blanks. Now, the blanks are full of black powder and, about an inch or two of wax on the top, so when it makes a loud bang and a lot of smoke. Well, for some reason, we had one left over, and the sergeant in charge, he didn't feel like doing the extra paperwork you have to do to return in live ammo. So he gets this brilliant idea that he's going to go out to one of the unused firing ranges and hand pop it.
Why would he think that's a good idea?
I have no idea, and I told him, I was like, that doesn't sound too good. He's like, oh, it's just like a big firework, man. You just freaking hit the thing, it's just going to blow off and shoot out a bunch of smoke, and then, because when you go to turn it in, you can't transport live ammunition with expended ammunition, so you'd have to have two trucks and a lot of paperwork. You want to have a truck just to drive one round. And, I was like, that's not a good idea. Oh, what do you know? I've done this before. Okay, sure. So he goes out there and proceeds to get a screwdriver and a tire iron, puts it on the ground, sets his foot on it, sideways, and goes to smack the screwdriver with the tire iron to hit the little blasting cap on the back. Basically, it looks like a giant large bullet. Yeah. And so when he does that, the force of the propellant shoots backwards, smacks into his hand, basically damn near takes his entire hand off. Oh. And the flames went up his leg, up his arm, and onto his face. So he's got third-degree burns up one arm. He's missing a hand, missing 90% of the hand on his right hand, and he's got burns up his waist and onto his face.
I hate to laugh, but I can't help but laugh. Like, man, everyone told you this is a bad idea. This is exactly why they said it's a bad idea.
I guess he's not in the Army anymore?
No, it's kind of messed up. It's kind of interesting. What they did is they actually cut open and basically made like a kangaroo pouch in his stomach, and they put his hand in there. So basically it stretched out the skin, and they used that skin to do a graft on his hand to basically seal up. Basically all he had was his thumb, left.
So he can still hitchhike.
And a stub.
Which is handy.
Yeah, Sandy. At least got the thumb. But as soon as he healed, they took they pulled that off. They took another patch of skin off his thigh and patched the part on his stomach. And as soon as he was healed up enough to leave the hospital, about 2 months later, they gave him a discharge. They kicked him out.
I guess if you had a thumb, you could still eat one, like a donut.
Yeah,
Anything that you could
middle.
stick your thumb into a hole, and then if it wrapped around.
Was it on his dominant hand that he lost it?
Yeah, because if he's hitting with a right, anything, if he's swinging that tire iron into a screwdriver, he's going to swing
probably
with
use
his
your dominant hand, right.
Yeah.
no matter what.
So that nothing goes wrong.
When this thing blows back, I mean, it could have been either one because you're holding the tire, you're holding the screwdriver with your left hand, theoretically, if you're right-handed, and you're hitting with your right. So either one of those two, when it blows back, could go.
It just seems like if you're right-handed and you hurt your right hand and you're in the Army, you're probably going to need a couple fingers to pull a trigger.
You're going to have to.
Right.
It doesn't matter what you do in life. You're going to need a couple fingers. I mean, it just seems like
Tying your shoes when your fingers don't work is one of the most agonizing and annoying experiences.
You go all Velcro,
Yeah,
man.
right.
You be slip-on guy.
Well, man, I'm telling you, when my wrist was out of commission, I had to wear this cast for, 3 months, 12 weeks, whatever. And you don't think about it, but the first time I went to tie shoes, I'm like, I'm like breaking a sweat. It's been 20 minutes, and my shoe isn't tied. And finally, any shoe that was a slip-on was the shoe I was going to wear. Mm-hmm. Right before I went to the caller, someone had asked, would you rather sweat mayonnaise or have Cheeto fingers? Some other people have chimed in. Most people agree. They say, dude, just take the Cheeto fingers because you can always wear gloves. Then someone else points out, not that we asked, it says, I don't know about you guys, but my butt crack sweats a lot. That's a lot of mayonnaise.
I mean, you got to use the bathroom.
That's a lot of butt mayonnaise.
That's your body
No.
telling you that it might be time to.
But I have a buddy that's just a butt sweater.
Yeah, some
Always.
people, they just,
Like I always like I'll sweat like through my chest and through my head.
Right.
But he legit sweats in his lower back and his butt. Like when we played baseball together, his butt would be soaked.
Huh.
It's weird. We see some football players, just because the way their uniforms are, like, I know it's a hot day. Everybody's sweaty, but like that guy and that guy, it's nothing but butt crack. Like,
Well, it's hot down
You
there.
sweat. Yeah, but their butts seem hotter than everybody else's butts. Like, you're all hot. You're all playing the same sport, but
Yeah.
like this guy and this guy, they are profuse butt sweaters.
The only sweat to me that ever looks okay is back sweat, like on a shirt. I don't know why, but like if there's a
Really?
stain of like somebody's been running or whatever, I go, okay. But like chest sweat and butt sweat always seem, like, I don't know, somehow it seems grosser.
butt sweat.
Yeah, butt sweat explains itself.
What's the craziest thing that's happened to someone you know? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Tia. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
I feel like I'm talking to a whole bunch of celebrities. It's crazy.
You're not.
You're talking to a couple of idiots.
That's pretty well it.
That is the sad truth of what's happening right now.
So, the craziest thing that I know that has happened to anyone happened to my great-grandma. And this was about 10 years ago, probably even 15 years ago. But me and my brother rescued a baby squirrel.
Right.
And now this squirrel was hand-raised and stuff by both of us, so she loved us to death in pieces. Like,
For how
we
long?
could do anything to her.
How long were you raising the squirrel?
Probably around 2 or 3 years.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, so she was a cool pet, and we knew that she didn't like other people around. Well, one day, nobody tells us our sweet, 5'2", little poofy-haired blonde grandma or great-grandma is coming over, and she usually goes to the front door. Well, this time, for some odd reason, she decided to go to the back door. And that's where her name was Peanut. So that's where Peanut's cage was kept. And obviously she didn't know who she was. So all of a sudden we just hear like the craziest scream you have ever heard. And we run to where we hear it or whatever. And it's my little great grandma getting attacked by our
Peanut
squirrel.
attacked Mama.
Meanwhile,
so
getting
we
attacked
had
by
to,
Peanut.
pry her off, and oh gosh, it was crazy.
How do you calm down Peanut? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, how do you calm down a
rationalize a squirrel?
It was really funny is as soon as I grabbed her, she stopped doing what, like she stopped biting and all that stuff.
Whatever happened?
just 'cause
Whatever
she
happened to
recognized
Peanut?
my smell.
Whatever happened to Peanut? Did you try to let her go, and then a cat ran up the tree and ate her? What happened to Peanut?
We actually found a wildlife refuge to take her, so she wasn't, because she was people friendly, so it wouldn't have been good to release her into the wild. She could have tried to hurt somebody else. And
Well,
stuff.
why did you give her up? I mean, look, if you've had the squirrel for 2 or 3 years and it's your pet, I mean, at that point, why didn't you just ride it out?
Well, that was the thing is my brother actually thought it was funny to bring his friends over because he was a dumb teenager at the time. He thought it was funny to bring his friends over and be like, go pet the squirrel. And the squirrel would run down their arm and like run all over their face trying to bite at them.
And so basically some kid in the neighborhood got bit by Peanut, and now you got to get rid of Peanut.
Yeah,
because you're dumb
much.
Brother.
Everybody else ruined my squirrel.
All right, now
that
you're all...
sounds like a loaded statement taken out of context.
Now, is your brother? Is he an adult now?
Yes.
Is he still an idiot?
Yes, he's gotten shot with a taser. He's jumped off like 300-foot cliffs. He's wrecked like 12 to 13 cars, like totaled them. He's definitely crazy.
So he's an adrenaline junkie.
Yes.
Okay,
or an idiot. It just depends.
Yeah. Because as soon as you said he was an idiot, I was like, he's still an idiot.
Still an idiot, right.
10-year-old idiot's going to be a 50-year-old idiot. It's going to be a 30-year-old idiot. It's going to be a 60-year-old idiot. When you're an idiot, you're an idiot.
How long do squirrels live on average? I figure you know more about squirrels than the rest of us. 5 years, 10 years?
They have a fairly decent, like, they're like a small rodent, so ferrets and stuff like that, 12, 15, 17 years-ish.
Damn, really?
You should have filmed one of those, like, you come back, like, 5, 6 years later, the person who raised the tiger in the wild, and then they come back, and he searches for him, and then the tiger runs like he's going to eat him and just jumps up and gives him a big hug, and they roll around, and you could do that with Peanut, you know what I mean? Like, you go back to the home where Peanut was, and...
But that's not as impressive. Like that video.
Oh, yeah, it is, man. This squirrel just bounding toward you like, Dad, Mom. And you're like, Peanut. And then you run, and he runs at you, and then Peanut jumps up on your chest.
There is the video.
It's a squirrel.
Like, it's just not as exciting. It's exciting for her, for sure. But here's my question. So there's a video, and you showed this to me, Miles. A guy had, like, raised a lion cub for however long it was. The thing's out in the wild. He sees this. It's not a goddamn cub anymore. In fact, it's with another lioness, right? These things turn around, stare at this dude. And like you said, they run and hug each other. And my thing is, I know the cat recognizes your smell, but maybe I'm a racist toward lions, but they all kind of look the same to me. Like, how did he know that that's the one that he raised? You know what I mean? Because I would say, dude, that's the lion I raised. And then I get bald, and I'm like, no, it's not. No. Wrong one.
He didn't make too many mistakes on that. What's the craziest thing that's happened to someone you know? We've got your emails on the way from the men's room at mensroomlive.com. Also, the word goes back to secret medical slang. That's all coming up next. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Still to come, the return of Who Sucks Less. The word goes back to secret medical slang. And our question today, what is the craziest thing that's happened to someone you know? And here come your emails in the men's room at mensroomlive.com.
You've got mail.
Speaking of working in trees, guys, my buddy Chris, working for a tree company, was 30 feet up topping a tree. He was a safe, responsible arborist and took all the safety precautions. But when he cut through, it rolled and caught him and then took him all the way down. Tree landed on his legs and on his hip. The fact that he survived is insane. He's had quite a few surgeries, but all is good now. Just walks with a bit of a limp. That from Jeremy. Bitches, my brother must have made a pact with the devil or has some amazing guardian angel of some type. When he was 19, he was walking to his car and was wearing one of those chain wallets, kind of like bikers wear. A train was going slowly by, and it caught the chain, and he tripped and fell under the train. And he lost both of his legs mid-thigh and does not have prosthetics.
Jesus.
A couple of years later, he was riding on the back of a motorcycle on the freeway. He fell off and was just fine. He's in his 50s now and recently rolled a quad and fell down a 30-foot ravine. It took him 6 hours to climb out. He said he couldn't get a foothold. He has never lost his sense of humor. That from Peggy. Couldn't get a foothold.
Too bad his name isn't Peggy.
Yes, exactly. Let's see here. The craziest thing that has happened to someone I know is my father-in-law was attacked by a drugged-up lady with a hatchet. She almost killed him. She hit him 6 times in the head, once in the arm. He has survived, but will need a long time to recover. We set up a GoFundMe for him. If you can please share it for us. These funds are being used to add a security system and more secure options for his home. I believe that was a lady who was on mushrooms, wasn't it?
I think so.
I think it was, too. Here, hold on.
Drink that beer.
We got any comments?
Oh, yeah, we got a few. Let me start with this one here. Let's see. Craziest thing that happened to a friend of mine is he found a dead body in a dumpster in Hollywood. Now, he thought it was a mannequin. Pulled on it. Nope, not plastic. Also had a friend get his foot cut off by a freight train. Slipped and he was trying to hop on. That's always good times. Let's see. My best friend got poison oak in her vagina. The question I have for this is, how did that happen?
Climbing a tree?
I think
Maybe she was wiping.
I don't know. Either way.
Poison oak, if you get it, it just spreads.
Yeah.
Wherever you touch, it is the worst.
It starts as a leaf, right?
Mm-hmm. It's basically, it looks like a vine that is all kind of like protecting itself with little spikes.
Yeah.
And it goes up the side of a tree. So it looks like you could see like this vine hanging down from a branch. You go like, that would be a great vine to swing on. Wrap your legs around it, wrap your arms around it, and swing and have a great time, and then go home and just automatically you're like, oh man, something's not right.
The only time I had
poison burning.
Yeah, the only time I had poison ivy was being a landscaper, and I did not know what it was and took a weed whacker to it.
Oh.
Yep.
And then my buddy had to stop me, but it was all over my arms.
I like to say, you just want to stop.
Yeah.
It says when my brother was about 4, he fell head first into a campfire. My mother pulled him out by his leg. He had third-degree burns on one hand, and the skin on his forehead almost burned off.
Jeez, a whiz.
That's a crispy dome.
Do we have time for a few extra emails here for the Men's Room at mensroomlive.com?
You've got mail.
Sounds like a real hothead.
Yeah. Guys, today's our granddaughter has made her first rotation around the sun. Can we get a little kid fish sandwich for Willow Rose Gilbert? She is grandma and grandpa's pride and joy. Thanks, guys. That from Ben.
Fish sandwich.
Hola, amigos. Today's my son Noah's birthday. He listens whenever it's appropriate and finds the show hilarious. He'll be 11 today. If you please have the dirty Germans and the crazy West Virginian give him a world of encouragement toward the next 8 years, that would be awesome. Again, thanks for making the life in Utah more interesting with the hours of entertainment. Sincerely, Chris from St. George, Utah.
Yeah, there's not much I can tell you at the age of 11, but when you get older, you will understand what scrambled man eggs are.
Eat your vegetables, kid.
Keep your palms rosy.
Yeah, shave your hands.
Bitches, can you please sing the birthday song for our son Ben, who is 12 years old today? He loves when Ted curses during Ted versus the FCC. Please take him out with the Dirty Germans. Love, Mom and Dad. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, you're a bit young again for me to go into full detail, but your fingers are not just for pointing.
Yeah, make sure you drink plenty of water.
8 a day. Hello, fellas. I'm a longtime listener, and because of that, my now young adult children are listeners, too. Well, thank you for that. Today is my beautiful daughter, Kinsey's 17th trip around the sun, and I'd love it if you could give her a big old bong rip and some semi-dirty German, and maybe a little Aussie Ted. You guys are the best. Thanks, guys. That from Grover.
Yeah, you're only 17, but obviously if your father is cool with the bong rip, you know what it is to pull tubes. Ask him what the other definition is.
Yeah, Ted here from Melbourne. You know, down here we like our Sheila's legal. Happy birthday. See you in the future.
He can't didgeridoo you yet.
Hello, Macholos. I'd like to wish my best friend and roommate, Danny, a happy 21st birthday. We can finally go to Red Festival next summer. I got her hooked on your show last year, and we listened to it together. It makes our boring nights at work go by faster. Could you please get a big old bong rip, and can Thrill and Ted give her the dirty German advice for 21st? Thanks, guys. Keep on rocking from Taylor.
Yeah, it is your 21st birthday. Many people will try to take advantage. Don't order the sausage with the mushroom cap. It's a euphemism.
Yeah, my advice for your 21 run would be, for Thrill, make sure you drink lots of brown liquor.
I'll do the liquor.
Birthday shout out. I want to wish my husband Corey a happy birthday. Give him a Joey Chestnut and a little dirty German maybe from Robin. Thanks, guys. That from Stephanie.
Joey Chestnut!
Ja, du kannst meinen Senf zwischen deine Fingern tun.
What does that mean?
Oh, you don't want to. Yeah.
Macholos, it's my boyfriend's birthday. His name is Eric John. He's a huge fan of the show. He would love a little kid fish sandwich and some dirty German talk about delivering mufflers. That would make his day. Thanks, guys. That from Jenny.
Fish sandwich.
Yeah, in the bedroom, the only muffler we will have is my hand over your mouth.
Yeah, what I like about mufflers is they have a lot of tubes and piping, and then they also put out a lot of heat.
Happy 21st birthday to Justin Hooper. I hope it's a good day, bud. Can I get a Leroy Jenkins and a little dirty German? That from Jackson Woods.
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins!
Yeah, for your birthday, we have a very special introduction. I will introduce your face to my headboard.
Yeah, and since it's your birthday, today you'll find out where the glaze comes from.
Bitches like to wish my sister Olivia in Okinawa, Japan, a very happy birthday. She's a daily listener. It's her 25th trip around the sun. I couldn't ask for a cooler sister. All that being said, she is still, unfortunately, a soulless ginger. Can we get an original fish sandwich followed by a your penis is too small? Thanks a lot, guys, and cheers from Niall.
Fish sandwich?
Your penis is too small. Your penis is small.
Hello, bitches. Please wish my lovely wife, April, pronounced April, a happy 50th. No over-the-hill party for her, but she would like a old lady fish sandwich and some sexy German talk. Thanks, guys, and Wobbin. Love the show. That from Chris.
I'll have a fish sandwich.
Yeah, your 50th birthday, we would do the 50 position. It requires 5 fingers and anything shaped like an O.
Yeah, and since you're 50 now, we should worry about health. And don't worry, I'll only give you the whites.
Bitches, today's my coworker Lori's birthday. She would love your penis is too small in the dirtiest Germans you've got. Rock on, guys. That from Peggy.
Your penis is too small. Your penis is small.
Yeah, we don't have to ride horses, but we'll have your feet in stirrups.
Yeah, and the word on the street is your pony is saddled.
All right, guys, here we go. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, bitches.
Ya's the Dirty Germans, brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Couple extras. Happy New Year, bitches. Using the bathroom one day at work, one of my coworkers in the next stall. I thought my coworker was on her cell phone. So I asked my coworker, hey, who are you talking to? She told me when she's on the toilet, she always talks to herself when she's peeing or pooping. I try not to go to the bathroom when she's in the bathroom anymore. Keep making us laugh. Thanks. That's from Tanya in San Jose, California, listening on KFOX 98.5 and the app. Very
Hey, Tanya, man, if you could do a follow-up email, I'm just curious to know, like, what is she talking about? Like, what is your go-to self-conversation when you're pooping?
It's got to be like,
Push, baby,
let's
push.
just go. Come on, man. We
Do
can
it.
poop. Poop.
Do it. Focus.
Poop now.
Ooh, push it, push it. Push it real good. Good times.
Oh, this is a great story from Christy. This is lovely. This will make you want her. Guys, my sister and I are on vacation in Mexico. I had lamb chops for dinner the night before. I wake up and was brushing my teeth in the bathroom wearing only underwear. I farted while I was brushing my teeth and realized that my stomach was suddenly in a knot. Thinking about the flight I had to catch in a couple hours, I was hoping that I would poop all the demons out of my hotel room to avoid stinking up the airplane. As I sat in the toilet to drop a gnarly one, I was completely shocked to find a pile of dark chocolate pudding in my bright pink panties. First time I pooped my pants as an adult. Okay, second time. Cheers, fellas. You're the best thing in radio. That from the lovely Christy. How nice, Christy. We appreciate it.
Chocolate pudding in my bright pink panties.
Coming up, the return of the word as we go back to secret medical slang. But first,
Now, the men's room wants to know who sucks less.
yay! Time once again for Who Sucks Less. Stephen Throwhill, you bring us 3 stories from the news every week. It's up to us to determine which of these 3 stories, which all suck the least. If you like the Men's Room on Facebook or follow us on Twitter at Men's Room Live, the debate is already underway in Who Sucks Less.
Yeah, and today we have a pair of Texas grandmothers that'll be taking on a North Carolina meth head, and then they will collectively compete against a couple from Nolens. But let's start in Texas, specifically Dallas, where a child custody swap between 2 grandmothers led to a shootout outside of a Walmart, left one woman wounded. Basically, the 2 women, they met to transfer custody of their mutual grandchild about 5:30 in the afternoon. An ensuing argument turned violent. Janice Brown, she pulled out a gun and shot Carla Hawkins in her neck, leaving her with injuries that they're saying are not life-threatening. But nevertheless, an off-duty county officer responded to the scene, and the woman who did the shooting, she shot at the officer. He actually had to return fire. Now, no one was harmed during the exchange, but she was taken into custody and charged with aggravated assault on a public servant. Charges related to the shooting will be related to the Dallas County Grand Jury. Again, if nothing else, your grandkids there, right? Your grandkids there. But let's continue. Let's go to North Carolina, where a man, he rang in the new year with a bit of a pet theft as a way to get drugs. Christopher O'Neill Eakes, he's 41 years old. He was arrested for stealing his stepdaughter's puppy and then selling his stepdaughter's puppy to get methamphetamine.
Jesus.
The old 8-week-old Yorkshire Terrier. It was stolen from the home, and a police investigation concluded that the guy took the dog from his own stepdaughter and sold it for meth. He was arrested for larceny of a dog, which could result in him serving probation and paying restitution. If he's convicted, his bond was listed at $2,500. The good news is the puppy was returned. The puppy is all right. Sadly, they go on in the story to point out that in North Carolina, he's not even remotely the first guy to steal the dog and trade it for drugs, but those are other stories for other days. Now we go to suburban Nolens, where a couple there, they've been accused of luring an Uber driver to their home so that they could rob him by having the woman distract him by opening the door, flashing her boobs. It's the old, hey, look at my boobs, and guys don't notice what the hell else is going on trick. 24-year-old Anthony Kennedy and 22-year-old Raina Filios, they were arrested after the unidentified victim escaped the would-be robbery. Now, the victim told officers that she gave him his telephone number when she hailed a ride, and then later called him, asking him to come on over. And when he got to the home, she opened the door topless in an attempt to distract him, while the boyfriend got in position to rob him. And the robber tried to leave after an exchange of a few words, but the woman then pulled him into her bare chest, kissed him, and bit his tongue. That's when the boyfriend finally did what he was going to do. So he finally let go of the driver. The boyfriend pointed a knife at him and demanded that he turn over his money. Well, the driver refused, and the boyfriend punched him in the face, knocked out a tooth. By the time police arrived on the scenes, officers found the boyfriend in a nearby shed, thanks to a police dog. He was booked on attempted robbery, second-degree battery, resisting an officer, and violation of an order of protection that it was supposed to keep him away from the girlfriend that he was colluding with to rob the Uber driver. Meanwhile, the girlfriend was arrested on charges of being a principal to armed robbery and second-degree robbery. So we have the Texas grandmothers who, during the exchange of the grandkid, they get into an argument. That's bad enough. But then one pulls out a gun, shoots the other grandmother in the neck. Then when a cop shows up, she opens fire on him. I'm
going to say that's the worst. I'm going to say that sucks the most.
Followed by the North Carolina stepfather, who basically stole his stepdaughter's 8-week-old puppy so that he could sell it and then buy methamphetamine. And then we go back to New Orleans, where the topless woman and her boyfriend basically tried to set up an Uber driver to rob him of his money.
Oh, the couple in New Orleans are idiots. The reason they're idiots is because one thing that's nice about Uber is it's not a cash transaction. It's taken right from your card.
That's the first thing I thought. It's like, dude,
it'd be different if you were with a cab driver, because they theoretically could have cash on them that they got from fares, other than the cash in their wallet.
They never have more than $20 in change. You can just read the sign in any cab.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's probably a reason for that, but that's better than Uber, wouldn't it be? I mean, you don't have to carry it. Yeah, I know.
They got cash.
They do got cash. I'm going to say...
Because look, even if the Uber driver had cash, the cash he has is the cash that he carries on him for his own person. Mm-hmm. And that's it. Most people in that, like a cab driver is going to have hundreds of dollars, whatever. Uber driver, if he's got $40 in his wallet, because he pulled $40 out to go buy a pack of cigarettes later.
Right, because there's never any cash.
I wonder if the little girl got the dog back.
She did get the dog back.
Right, I'm going to say it was a crabby situation. That one sucks the least, all things considered.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on this one. I think the woman luring the Uber driver in there and robbing her, I think that's the worst. Somehow I give a little bit of a pass to the grandmas because they're passionate and they're grandmas.
Yeah, but they're shooting at police officers and each other.
That's bad.
With the grandchild in the air.
I know, but it's Texas. If you've been to Texas, like, that's not
They call that a Texas-style hunt.
Right. I mean,
when I got off the plane in Dallas, they were like, which firearm would you like?
I'll take that.
Right? I was like, I'll take the 9mm and the stripper.
The debate continues on Who Sucks Less. If you like the Men's Room on Facebook, or follow us on Twitter at Men's Room Live. All right, coming back with the word as we go back to secret medical slang. That's coming up next. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bichola. You have entered the Men's Room.
Coming up, we'll drink and toast. The shot of the day is moments away, but first. All right, on a previous episode, we brought you a few of the doctor slang, medical slang, and medical acronyms that are used by people in the medical profession to denote certain types of patients, doctors, and everything else around them. Now, it's not that they're used all the time, but they have been collected from around the United States and England, some very specific, others they've seen more than once.
Sure.
I will give you the slang. You tell me what you believe is going on at the hospital, patient, or with the doctor. On your chart at one point in time, Steve, it would have said that you were DFO. What was DFO?
Definitely effing out of his mind.
Close.
Difficult. I don't know.
Your condition was by DFO.
Default?
Drunk and fell over.
Oh, yeah.
DFO means drunk and fell over.
All
so
right,
if you ever see that on a thing, that means that what happened to your wrist. One night we were doing the black party. And things got out of hand.
Right. I got drunk. I broke my... And the only thing about that, the doctor kept saying, how'd you break your wrist? I really don't know. How'd you break your wrist? Lady, I got blackout drunk, and I woke up with a broken wrist. Then she closes the door and does the, okay, really, what happened to your wrist? I'm like, I really got drunk. I really did something, and I don't know what it is.
On the chart, this woman comes in, and they say she's a D&D. What's a D&D?
Dirty and...
Drunk and disorderly?
Divorced and desperate. It's a middle-aged female who visits the doctor weekly just for male attention.
Okay.
Dr. Feelgood, we probably know what doctor that is.
Yep.
Doctor that gives out pills?
Yeah, what's a DUB in the prenatal unit? What's a DUB?
Dub?
$20. Damn ugly baby.
Wow.
Yes. What is a DSP?
DFP?
A DSP.
What situation would they be in?
They're an idiot.
Drunk, stupid, I don't know.
They are a dumb-ass person.
Gotcha.
Yes, very good. More of the doctor slang that's used. FLK. What's an FLK? Maybe inbred.
Effed up little kid?
Funny-looking kid, for sure. How about genital herpes? Herpes. Genital herpes. What about GDA? Don't worry. It's GDA.
GDA?
Yeah. That means gonna die anyway.
Oh, wow.
Don't worry too much.
Wow.
This patient. How about a hole in one? This is one of the best medical slang acronyms ever. Hole in one.
Somebody got something stuck in their rectum.
They got shot in the rectum or in the mouth.
Oh.
That is known in medical terms as a hole in one.
A million and one shot,
Ted,
Doc.
when you were little, you were a happy little camper.
All right.
My daughter was a happy little camper.
No,
kids in a bubble.
Kids in an oxygen tank in a bubble. You're a happy little camper.
Bubble boy.
And how about if, unfortunately, you're going through what they call a medical hat trick?
Third time for the same problem?
Now
Like, you're like dying.
you're dying, but you got 3 tubes in you. There you go on some secret medical slang with the word. All right, Robin, have we made it to drinking time?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Steve at Throw Hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. Today we toast an unidentified man from Ireland. People have been sending me this story all day. I figure he is now worthy of a shot. Now, we have to go back to November 20th of 2015. That's when 3 men broke into a store in County Cavan, Ireland. But as they loaded the stolen stuff into the car, that's when the cops showed up. So they wound up chasing the guys back into the store and arresting them there. Now, the guys all got suspended sentences for the burglary, but that wasn't the end of the story. Because, see, during the cop chase, one of the burglars bumped into himself and injured his testicles. He cut them open so badly that he needed stitches. Okay, so he's running from the cops. Obviously, there's panic. He's not looking where he's going. He hits the corner of the shelf and just rips his boys open. Oh. Well, now you fast forward about 2.5 years, and now he is suing the owner of the store over the injuries. He's also suing the police. He's suing the court system. He is suing the country of Ireland. And a commission is actually... Well, they're reviewing the situation right now to see if he has a case. The owner of the store says, quote, it would be funny if it wasn't true. But it should also be pointed out that the store owner, he had 90 days from the time that he got word that the lawsuit was coming to figure out what he wanted to do. So he contacted his insurance company like, man, is this something to cover? As you might guess, the insurance company said, well, no. I mean, we know what happened in your store, but it's not like they were shopping. And it didn't even happen while they were robbing it. This happened because there were police chasing them. He ran into a shelf. But this guy's legitimately worried that he might be on the hook for some cash if this guy's case manages to go through. Keep in mind, not just the store. It goes to like the court system, the cops, the country of Ireland.
Paper, plastic, or skin?
Yeah, hopefully he gets a sack of cash.
Big fat sack. All right, bitches, let's drink. We pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy.
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down la hola, bichola.
Let's get caller 9 on the line right now, 844-999. Ola, profile that's coming up.
The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.